Hi children, good morning to everybody. Today we are going to learn a new chapter called Our Universe. In third standard itself we have learned few things on planets, earth, so and solar system. Now we will learn some more new things in this particular chapter. Right. A dark night looks beautiful when it is lit by a moonlight. If we don't have current, even you think so like that, so there were no lights anywhere, suddenly it was a full dark night. At that time if you get full complete moonlight, we feel eager to enjoy that night, right? Really, is it night? Is it right? Students, you do one thing. If that situation, especially on full moon day, if you get that kind of situation, you try to eat food in the top of your house, at the top of your house, your building, you go and eat along with your parents. You cook food, everything, you try it once and it will be very beautiful. Okay, on a full moon night, okay, it will be beautiful. Try to enjoy it. Right. Okay, doesn't it? It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Yes, definitely it looks beautiful. The sun, the moon, the earth attracts one another by a natural force called force of gravity or gravitational force. See here you are having a new term. What is that new term? The sun, the moon and the earth. The sun, the moon and the earth, there will be attractive force between one object and the other object. You may wonder why. Sir, why you are saying that there is an attraction between sun and earth, sun and the moon? You may wonder now. But actually there is an attractive force called gravitational force. Then if there were attractive force, you may have a question. Why the sun and the moon they won't collide? Why the sun and the earth they won't attract or collide each other? Because one thing you remember children, this gravitational force is the weakest known force in this universe. This is the weakest known force in the universe. There are lot of forces that which we are going to come in the forthcoming sections, but up to now the gravitational force is the weakest force in the universe. One more thing you remember, that you are sitting in your room, you and our Prime Minister sir, Mr. Modi sir, there will be an attractive force between you and Modi sir. Definitely, though it is so long, but that force is very, very, very less. So, the gravitational force will be an attractive force always. Remember one more thing. There will be the gravitational force will be always attractive force, but in universe, each and every particle or each and every body will have attractive force with another body. Okay, how far it may be. Okay, we will learn regarding this in depth in our gravitation chapter in forthcoming sections, right? Till now it is enough. Okay, come back. The force of attraction between the two bodies depends on the distance between them. Suppose we consider the two bodies A and B. B is another body and there is C is another body which is somewhat long. There will be the force of attraction between A and B, and there will be the force of attraction between A and C, and there will be the force of attraction between A and B and C also. But the attractive force between A and B will be very high compared to B and C and A and C, because B and C are far away, A and C are still far away when compared to AB. When the objects are very near, the attractive force will be more. As the object distance of separation becomes large and large, the attractive force will be decreased. Okay. It means closer is the two bodies, greater will be the force of attraction between them. Next, surface of motion. The surface of moon. Surface of moon, Earth's only natural satellite. That is moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. Earth is having only one satellite, that is moon. It has many craters, plains, mountains and valleys. So moon is having these kind of things. Scientists believe that these were formed around 3.5 to 4.5 million years ago. What the scientists believe is, on the moon, these craters, these plains, these mountains and these valleys have formed 3.5 to 4.5 million years ago. The moon is not have light of its own. See now, moon is not a self-luminous body. Not a self-luminous body. So self-luminous means which can give light of its own. Sun is a self-luminous body. Moon is not a self-luminous body. Moon is non-self-luminous body. Moon will take light from the sun and it will just reflect. So the light which is coming from the moon is not its original light. It is the light which is coming from the sun. Moon is accepting that light and it is giving out to the earth. How it will accept, how it will give out, we will study in forthcoming classes in light chapter. That is reflection, refraction, dispersion, deviation. Okay, we are going to get lot of words. Okay, up to now it is enough. But reflects the light that is received from the sun. Reflect means giving back to the earth. It is gaining energy, light energy. Light is also one of the form of energy, right? It will gain the light energy from the sun and it will give back to earth. That is called reflection. It will give back. Alright. The moon is surrounded by vacuum and lacks of atmosphere. Vacuum means free space. Nothing will be there. Nothing is there. Free space. Vacuum is called what? Free space. Nothing is present. Nothing. Shunyam antar. In Telugu that will be called as shunyam. Right? Vacuum, there will be nothing inside it. Not even air. Okay. Not even air. So that is called as vacuum. And lacks of atmosphere. It doesn't have any atmosphere. So it is very difficult to live on moon. It has no liquid. The moon doesn't have liquid on its surface. See here. Water we cannot get water on the moon. Right? No water there. No liquid. The surface temperature on the moon is extreme. Extreme means very high or very low. In daytime, the surface will be around 121 degrees centigrade. And in case of, see, our Earth's temperature will be, if it is maximum, the temperature on the Earth will be around 50 to 60 degrees. Only 50 degrees centigrade in few parts of the Earth. Okay, for that temperature only it is unable to live. If the temperature is 121, almost more than double, how can we survive there? So we cannot survive on the moon. And minus 133 degrees centigrade at night. It is horrible, too cold. So that's why, I mean, in the daytime, the sunlight we are going to get, so we get more sunlight. So due to more sunlight, the temperature will be very high. When once it won't get any sunlight, the temperature will be very low. So there we can observe both extreme high temperature and extreme low temperature, which does not support life. Okay, the absence of air on the moon surface makes the moon dry. Even there is no air there. Without air, how can we live? No water, no air. Okay, extreme high temperature, it is impossible to live. Lifeless and very quiet place. Quiet means calm. Nobody will be there. Calm place. So not even air. The sound also cannot travel on the moon surface in the absence of air or any medium. Medium in the sense the water medium, wood medium, air medium. You are going to learn in future in sound concept. Okay. Up to now it is enough. So not even sound we can get there. Nothing is possible there. The next concept is tides. How the tides are formed, what are tides, we shall see now. The combined effect of gravitational force of the sun and the moon causes the water in the oceans to rise in certain regions of the earth and fall in other regions. See now. See, tides are going to be formed due to the gravitational force of attraction between sun and the moon. See what a miracle in nature. See what is that? The combined effect of gravitational force of sun and moon. Sun will have some gravitational force, moon will have some gravitational force. Of course, sun will have more gravitational force and moon will have very less gravitational force compared to sun. Even earth will have very less gravitational force when compared to sun. So, sun will have some gravitational force which is very high and moon will have gravitational force which is very low. The combined effect of these two gravitational forces causes the water in the oceans to rise in certain region of the earth and fall in other region. This combined gravitational force of sun and moon causes the rise in water level of oceans. Ocean water level will be raised at one particular place and it will fall down at another place on the earth. Both things will be happen due to the combined effect of, combination effect of the gravitational force of sun and moon. Sea water comes with a force to the shore as its level rises during the high tide. In case of high tide, sea water level has been raised so that it will comes with a force, with a great force. If you go towards sea, you are going to get high tides and low tides. Some tides will be very slow and some tides will be very fast. Even tsunami is one of the cause for high tide, right? Very high tide, not high tide, huge tide. On the other hand, during the low tide, recalls from the shore, exposing many rocks at the shore. Recalls from the shore means the water will come towards the shore. It will come back to the shore so that large amount of rocks will be exposed. If you see in ocean areas or sea areas, we will observe rocks there. Just beside the sea. Beside the sea, we can see lot of rocks. Okay, at the shore. These rocks are formed due to the low tides. Okay. A high tide is formed when water on the side of the earth facing the moon is pulled towards the moon. The water, see here you are having water. Suppose if there is moon here, this is earth, this is water and this is earth and this is also earth. What is happening there? A high tide is formed. When the high tide is going to be formed? When water on the side of the earth facing the moon. Here is moon, here is water and here is the earth. Okay, water on the earth side should face on towards moon. Earth side should face towards moon. So which occurs, so at that time what happens is pulled towards the moon. Okay. The water will be pulled towards the moon. It will form what is known as high tide. Another high tide is formed on the opposite side of the earth, which occurs due to the earth's movement. Okay, high tide will be formed in two cases. One is the above case, second one is the another height is formed on the opposite side of the earth, which occurs due to the earth's movement. Due to earth's movement, then the opposite side of the earth, another tide will be formed. How the low tide is formed? Our water level in the region between the two high tides is low. Suppose here the high tide is formed, here also high tide is formed. In between these two, there will be the low tide. Okay, low tides will be formed. This is known as low tide. In between two high tides, the low tide is going to be. The next topic is shadows. Shadows are dark shapes of opaque objects. What are opaque objects, children? Opaque objects are those which do not allow light to pass through. The objects which does not allow light to pass through are called opaque objects. For example, this pen is an opaque object. This pen will not allow light to pass through this. How can you know that this pen does not allow light to pass through? See here, there is light there and I kept the pen near this wall. Can you see? On the wall, there is a shadow of pen. Okay, shadow of pen is going to be formed on the wall. Uday, light, I need much light. Uday, light, focused light. నీ మొబైల్లో టార్చ్ వేసి చెప్తాను. Focus light on the pen. Still focus. Okay, okay, right. See here, the light is falling on the pen, on this pen, and the pen shadow is falling here. Are you getting? See, shadows are the dark shape of opaque objects. Only opaque objects will give shadow. There is one more object called transparent object. That transparent object does not give shadow because it will allow light to pass through and go away. This pen does not allow light inside. So when light falls on this pen, if there is some screen, there should be light one side, pen will be in the middle, I mean pen is an opaque object, and the other side there should be some screen, wall, board, whatsoever. There should be some trees even. Okay, there should be some screen. On that screen you are going to get what is known as shadow, and that shadow will be formed exactly opposite to the source of light. We'll see, we'll tell everything, we'll see. Shadows are always formed in the direction opposite to the source of light. See here, there is an opaque substance. I am telling twice, thrice. Opaque substance means the substance which does not allow light to pass through is called opaque substance. Source of light will be one side, the opaque substance will be middle, and the screen will be the other side. So on the screen, due to this source of light which falls on the opaque object, on the other side this shadow is going to be formed. You can see my fingers. 5 finger shadow are forming on this, right? My hand is an opaque substance. The light is coming from the source and falling on the hand. Since hand is an opaque substance, hand will not allow light to pass. See, when I keep near, you will get much shadow. So that it will not allow light to pass, so we will get the dark side of the hand on the screen. The dark side of the hand on the screen we call it as what is known as shadow. Right. Okay. Leave it. We will learn some much more through some more examples. See now. One thing we remember that shadows are going to be formed in the direction opposite to source of light. Source of light should be one side. An opaque object should be middle. The shadow will be formed on the other side. Okay. How are shadows formed? The next question is, of course, the shadow is forming on the wall or board whatsoever. How they are forming? Shadows are formed because the light travels in a straight line. This is very important topic. How the light will travel? It will always travel in a straight line. If you observe the light carefully, directly or sunlight or whatever may be the light, you will get some straight lines from the source of light. You can observe. See once. If you will get sharp lines from the source of light. So from that we can say that the light will travel in a straight line. An opaque object does not allow light to pass through. Since this pen is an opaque object, it will not allow light to. allow light inside to pass through. Okay, this forms an imprint of the object on the surface opposite to the light surface. So the shadow which is formed on the screen, this pen shadow is called imprint. Imprint means exactly same as that of object. Okay, it feels it exactly same. The shadow is also called as imprint. Okay, imprint will be formed on the screen. Screen may be board, wall, trees, whatsoever. The farther the light source, the longer is the shadow made by an object. Uday okasari. The farther the light source దగ్గరకు తీసుకురా. Come near. See, light source is very near. See, the pen is looking like that. If the light source is far away, it is going far away, the longer is the shadow. The length of the pen shadow will be longer. See now, I kept very near, you observe the shadow. If I take the source longer, the length of the shadow will be increased. The shadow length will be increased. We observe that the smallest shadow is formed when the sun is exactly overhead. One more thing, children, you yourself can observe. See, exactly at 12 o'clock the sun will be at the top of our head. When we go and stand outside on a sunny day, so that we will see our shadow near our foot itself, which will be very short. If suppose in the mornings or evenings, if you go and stand, you will observe a long shadow. Are you getting what I am saying? When sun is exactly on the head, the distance from the sun will be very less. As the distance between source and an opaque object decreases, the shadow length will be small. If it increases, the shadow length will be large. Right. We observe that the smallest shadow is formed when sun is exactly overhead. A shadow is always a two-dimensional imprint of an image. Imprint means image of an object. It is a two-dimensional object. What is two-dimensional object? The objects will be two-dimensional and three-dimensional. What is two-dimensional? The objects which are forming, the shadows which are forming on any screen are two-dimensional objects. The objects which we can hold with our hand, all the objects which can be held with our hand are three-dimensional objects. Up to this, you learn this thing. In future, you are going to learn what is two-dimensional, what is one-dimensional, what is three-dimensional in detail. Right now, we go for eclipse. What is eclipse? An eclipse is a natural phenomenon. So, what is natural phenomenon? Natural phenomenon is one which is not man-made, which is occur by nature, through nature. In nature itself it will occur. No one will keep earth, moon and sun in one line. Okay, it will be formed in nature itself. That is called natural phenomenon. That gives a unique opportunity to study and understand the effect of light in nature. So this eclipse will give us an opportunity for what? To study and understand the effect of light. To study and understand light effect, we can understand the effect of light in nature. It occurs due to the position and shadow of the earth. How it occurs? It occurs due to the position of the earth and shadow of the earth. Earth, moon and the sun. The position of moon, sun and the earth. Okay. With respect to one another. With respect to those three. What is the position of sun, position of moon, position of earth? So, lunar eclipse. First one is lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs when earth comes in between sun and the moon. So, here is sun, here is moon. and the earth is at the center in between sun and the moon. Sun is having capacity to give light, self-luminous body, sun. Okay, the sun rays will fall on earth, and again the shadow will be, the earth shadow will be formed on the moon. The earth shadow will be formed on the moon. That is called lunar eclipse. See, during lunar eclipse, the earth casts its shadow on the moon. The earth is opaque object here, opaque. It does not have capacity to allow light. Okay, so earth is opaque substance. The sun's light will fall on earth. Since earth is an opaque substance, its shadow will be formed on the screen, as we discussed in the previous class. Now the screen will be the moon there. So earth shadow will be formed on the moon. On moon, what is going to be formed? Earth's shadow. Earth's shadow will be formed on the moon. Okay, shadow is on the moon. Consequently, either entire visible surface of the moon appear dark. In this case, there is a chance that entire moon, complete moon, will appear dark due to complete shadow of earth will fall on the moon. I mean, the shadow of the earth closes the moon. There is a chance. Okay, this is called total lunar eclipse. If earth's complete shadow falls on the moon, then that is said to be, and moon should close completely because of earth's shadow. Okay, so that is called total lunar eclipse. Or a part of the moon appears dark, called partial lunar eclipse. In some cases, some part of the moon will be, suppose this is a moon, and some part of the moon is closed by earth's shadow, like this. Like this, earth's shadow, some part will be closed, some part will be open. Okay, in such, that will be called as partial lunar eclipse. So this black one represents earth's shadow and this red one represents moon. A lunar eclipse takes place only on a full moon night. You remember that. In order to have lunar eclipse, there should be, on that day night should be full moon night, but not every full moon night. Don't think that every full moon night the lunar eclipse will occur. It will not occur in every full moon night, but the lunar eclipse when occurred, that should be full moon night. The total lunar eclipse can last for the duration of 1 hour 45 minutes. If suppose now the lunar eclipse has been occurred, in the sense the earth shadow is falling on the moon, earth is receiving sunlight and its shadow is falling on the moon at present, now itself. And up to how much time it will be there? It will be around 1 hour 45 minutes. After 1 hour 45 minutes, the lunar eclipse will be, the moon will come back to the same position. At the end of the eclipse, the moon becomes visible as it receives sunlight. The next concept is solar eclipse. A solar eclipse can occur when a moon comes in between sun and the earth. In order to have a solar eclipse, the moon should come in between sun and the earth. This is sun and this is earth. The moon will come in between sun and the earth. Sun rays are going to fall on this and the moon will cover for some time in order not to come towards earth. So that is called what is known as solar eclipse. As a result, the moon blocks the sunlight. What will the moon do? It will block the sunlight for some time in order not to come on the earth from falling on certain regions of the earth, not all the regions of the earth. The moon is very small compared to earth, so it will block the light in some regions of the earth. For the people in the region of the sun appears to be blocked. Those regions where on the earth for the people the sun appears to be blocked. Actually sun will not block. Sun appears to be blocked by the moon for some time. This is what we call it as solar eclipse. This is what we call it as solar eclipse. Solar eclipse means the moon will come in between the earth and the sun. The moon will block the sunlight in order not to fall on the earth in few regions, not all the regions, right? During the solar eclipse, we are unable to see the sun in the sky and the day appears little dark for some time. Okay, where the solar eclipse occur, in that region, the sun, we cannot see the sun because the moon will hide the sun rays, so that unable to see the sun in the sky and the day appears a little dark for some time. The day will be, it appears to be, though it is day, it appears to be little night like that. A solar eclipse can last for around 7 minutes and 31 seconds. See now, the solar eclipse will be present only around 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, 7 minutes and 31 seconds. A solar eclipse occurs only on new moon day. The solar eclipse occurs only on new moon day, but not on all new moon days. Remember that. But not on every new moon day. The next one is artificial satellites and their importance. What are artificial satellites? A heavenly body means which float on the space. All the moon, the sun, the stars, the planets, asteroids, these are all come under heavenly bodies. The heavenly bodies which are floating on the space, even the satellites, the orbit that orbits the earth or any orbit in the space is called satellite. Satellites are heavenly bodies, generally we will call. There are lot of planets, we have 9 planets, around 9. If you neglect the Pluto, around 8 planets now. For 8 planets, there will be satellites which are revolving. So, satellites will be called as generally heavenly bodies revolving around the earth. There are few satellites. There is only one natural satellite, that is moon, revolving around the earth, and man-made satellites are many satellites. They will revolve around the earth. They will be called as heavenly bodies. Satellites may be natural like moon or man-made. Artificial satellites are launched in space for various purposes. For various purposes, they are going to use the artificial satellites. We will see the importance of those artificial satellites. One is weather satellite. These satellites orbit the earth and give us useful information about the atmosphere. These weather satellites, they will orbit around the earth and they will give useful information about the atmosphere of the earth. They capture images of clouds, ill effect of pollution. Ill means bad effect. Bad effect of pollution, sand and dust storms, boundaries of ocean currents, etc., which help greatly in weather forecast and so on. See, generally we are going to use, listen in the news, tsunami, bhukamp, earthquake, whatsoever. These are all due to these weather satellites. We can know that. One of the most important uses of satellite is communication. What is the main importance of satellite? The communication is one of the most important use of satellite. The next one is communication satellite. What does this communication satellite will do? These satellites helps in sending messages across the country, all over the world. So all over the world it will send messages. Okay, something has happened in one particular country, that message will be sent through all over the world with the help of this communication satellite. Television and radio programs can be relayed thousands of miles away because of artificial satellites. I mean because of this communication satellite. Suppose something is happened in South Africa, that ping, we can know all over the world. Everybody can knows that because of this communication satellite. Talking on the phone, searching the internet, watching live cricket matches have become possible only because of communication satellite. So phone, in order to have phone signals, we are getting through communication signals. That is communication satellites. Start browsing the internet, even watching cricket matches whatsoever. Next one is remote sensing satellite. These satellites will give you a valuable information about the earth and water bodies. These satellites will give the valuable information about the earth and water bodies, in the sense oceans, rivers, okay, like seas, etc. They are particularly help in advising farmers, miners and fishermen. So they will advise them, farmers, whether is it good time to have some seed or crop, is there any what is known as is there any some more rainfall or whatsoever, and even for miners, and they will, it gives the climatic conditions, it will tell before itself, so that they will be careful in doing that. Even for fishermen, in order to catch the fish or not, is there any some oceans, high tides are forming in oceans or not, everything we are going to get the information from this satellite. Hi my dear students, now the time is quiz time, right? See now, quiz on first surface of the moon. I am doing the quiz as topic wise, we shall see now. First one is true or false. The moon has no air. Is it right or wrong? True, absolutely. Try it yourself, friends. First pause it and try it yourself. Otherwise, you look here. The surface of the moon has many dash. Rivers? No. Water is not there. Forest? No. Craters? Correct. No. Oceans is wrong answer. The moon looks bright because giving its own light? No. Moon does not have its own light. Reflects the sunlight? Yes. Burns fire? No fire there. No electricity there. So the option is reflects sunlight. Name one thing that is not found on the moon. Air? That is not found on the moon. Air. Moon doesn't have air. Correct. Craters, wrong answer. Wrong. Rocks, dust. Craters, rocks and dust will be present on the moon. So the thing which is not present is air. The moon surface is mostly covered with sand, water, dust and rocks, trees. Sand, wrong answer. Water, wrong answer. Dust and rocks are right answer, and the trees is wrong answer. Next, quiz on the topic tides. Okay, have a pause and do it yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, go. Tides are the rise and fall of dash, mountains, seawater, clouds, sand. Tides will occur due to seas and oceans. So, seawater is the right answer. Tides are mainly caused by the gravity of dash, moon gravity. Right? When the seawater rises high, it is called dash high tide. How many high tides usually happen in one day? 2 high tides. Tides happen mostly in seas and oceans. True or false? It is true. Right? Next, quiz on shadows. A shadow is formed when light is dash reflected, blocked, increased, removed. The light is blocked. The light should be blocked. Opaque object we are going to use, it will block the light. Okay. So block is the right answer. A shadow is always formed on the dash side of the object, opposite side of the object. A shadow is formed only when there is a source of dash. What source we need? We need light, not sound, smell, water. At noon, our shadow is usually, we have covered this in our topic, very short. Can a transparent object make a shadow? Tell me, can a transparent object can make a shadow? No. Only opaque object will make a shadow. So this answer is next. Quiz on eclipse. See now, an eclipse happens when the sun, moon and earth come in a dashed line. Which line? Pause the video and try yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, see now. So an eclipse happens when the sun, moon and earth come in a straight line. They should come in a straight line, not zigzag line. Circle is not at all a line. Triangle is also not at all a line. In solar eclipse, the moon comes in between dash and dash. See, one thing you remember. In order to have eclipse, we require three things: sun, moon, earth. Already he has given the eclipse occur, solar eclipse, the moon comes. So what are the two other things? Earth and the sun. So that is the right answer. Sun, stars will not come, stars will not come, stars will not come. In lunar eclipse, the earth comes in between dash and dash. This is also same thing. Earth will come between sun and the moon is the right option. Moon stars, earth stars, sun and the stars is right. Wrong answer. A solar eclipse happens during dash. Solar eclipse will happen during daytime. Lunar eclipse will happen during night time. Okay, that too what is known as full moon night. Lunar eclipse. Quiz on artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are made by dash. Who made artificial satellites? Animals? No. Plants? No. Clouds? No. The answer is humans. Satellites move around the dash. Satellites move around the planets generally. Here which one is planet? Moon is a planet? No. Earth is a planet? Not sea, not hill. Generally satellites move not only around the earth, it move around all the planets in the solar system. Right. A satellite helps us in communication, weather forecast, TV signal, all of the above. All of the above. GPS helps us to find a dash. Our location, moon craters, oceans, eclipse. Generally for what sake we are going to use GPS? Our location. These are all wrong. Next, artificial satellites launched using dash. Train, ship, rocket, bus. Generally artificial satellites are launched in space. So train, ship and bus does not go to the space. The right option is rocket. Okay children, moral of the day. What is today's moral? Helping others is the greatest strength. So if you want good strength, you try to help others. It is the greatest strength. Actually, this is the sentence spoken by Mr. Lord Krishna. Because I will say you a small thing. Lord Krishna and Arjuna went to one of the fields. One old man was farming with what is that? Bullock cart with ox. Okay, he was ploughing. So he doesn't have that much strength to plow. So that అంత స్ట్రెంత్ అతనికి లేదు, దున్నుతూ ఉండి ఏం చేస్తాడు, అలసిపోతున్నాడు అనమాట. అప్పుడు కృష్ణుడు అర్జునుడితో మనం ఇద్దరం పోయి హెల్ప్ చేద్దాం పదా అని వెళ్తే ఇద్దరు పోయి హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు. వాళ్ళ బాగా హెల్ప్ చేసిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళకు ఒక శక్తి వస్తుందన్నమాట. అంటే అర్జునుడు చెప్తాడు మేము కష్టపడ్డాం కదా శక్తి వచ్చింది అని. అప్పుడు కృష్ణుడు చెప్తాడు కష్టపడితే శక్తి రాలేదు, సహాయపడితే శక్తి వస్తుంది అని. బికాజ్ ఎవరికైతే సహాయం చేస్తావో మన మనసు హ్యాపీ ఫీల్ అవుతుంది. మన మనసు హ్యాపీ ఫీల్ అయినప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్గా మనకు ఎనర్జీ వస్తుంది. సో ట్రై టు help others. Bye.